All right, a quick video here. Going to be putting a new radio in this GMC Envoy, and it's the two-din like this, just a one off of Amazon. But the challenge is that the existing radio has its own support system built in, and then when you switch over to a radio like this, there's no support system built in. So we're going to use a kit today that makes that possible. To take this cover off, the top here just pops off, so you just pull out on it. There's two screws down at the bottom here. I've already removed those. You can see where the screw holes are. So you pull the side panel, drop that down, pull those two screws out, and then this panel lifts off. And a lot of times your radio would just sit right into the back of this, but there's no mounting system here, and there's nothing really to mount to inside of the dash here. So we need an adapter kit. This adapter kit is made by, let me grab it here real quick, is made by Metra. This is 95201. This kit actually is pretty cool. It just has a few plastic pieces in here, so you disassemble your dash. They give you instructions on disassembling your dash there. But what this is going to do is you take these plastic pieces and you actually form a surround for the radio, which then mounts to the factory holes there in the dash. So it's pretty simple. I'll show you how it works real quick here. So we go ahead and you got this first rectangle shape, and then you've got these kind of plastic side pieces. They're marked right and left. Remember, it's going to be the way that it sits in the dash. So from the driver's seat, left is going to be the one that is actually on your left, you're facing when you're sitting in the driver's seat. So this one left is going to go over on this side here. So what these do is this hooks into the side of this plastic piece, and you're going to put both of those on and then set this over the radio. They stay in place, and then you screw this in on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here and show you how it works out, and then that gives you a mounting system to actually mount it into the dash there. So let's go ahead and assemble this. They just kind of slide into the side of that bracket. You can see it's made to hold that there. I'm going to go ahead and put these on, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so you can see what this looks like once you get it assembled. You got the rectangle piece, the sides sit inside of it, and then we're going to put some screws into this, and then this is going to sit in the dash. The rectangle piece is directionally specific, so if you try to put the sides in and it doesn't fit, flip the rectangle piece over. So we're going to go ahead and put a few screws in here, and then I'll show you how it fits into the dash. You got your choice of screw holes back here in the back. In the manual, they give you some recommendations. I'm going to choose some holes, put some screws in it, and then we're going to throw it in here in the dash. And then we get some screws mounted in the side there. You can select which holes you use, and then that creates, you can see the bracketry. It's going to hold it on right under these factory mounts. I did have to trim off that. Back here in the back, there was a mount on mine for the factory radio that was hitting the back of this new radio. So I did have to trim that off a little bit. You might find that you need to do that as well to make more room for it. But then after you get that all done, the new radio just slides right in, and it'll mount right on these original mounts. Looks like on this side I'm gonna have to stretch it over a little bit, but I'll see how that works and I'll let you know in just a second. But that gives it a good sturdy foundation, then your panel goes right back over it. So you see I got it mounted on mine here. I just chose some of the holes available, drop some screws in it. That makes this thing nice and strong. In the back, there was a rear brace here for the factory radio. On this new radio that I have, that brace was hitting actually the back of the radio, so I ended up cutting that off. Just used a little die grinder, a Dremel, cut it off, sand it off so it's nice and smooth. Now we can slide the radio in there. And this gives it the support structure that it needs. It now sits on the factory mounting holes here on both sides. This side looks like it needs to come over just a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can stretch that over a little bit, get the factory bolts back in it. And the harness is a whole different situation. In the back, I actually bought a harness adapter because this one has amps in it, has an amp in the back, and also has, you know, a lot of functionality that's kind of brought into that. And so I got this kit right here, which is GMOS 04, and it's made by Access, as you can see down here at the bottom. It keeps all your OnStar functionality and the other kind of factory GM functionality. You just plug that in and then you integrate it into your harness there. That's a pretty simple one, but that's for another discussion. This one is focused mostly on the mounting system here. So I'm going to plug in my radio and get this all buttoned back up, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got the wiring done. I do have to get the adapter from the smaller antenna jack to the larger one on the back of this radio, but I'll do that in a little bit. But I was testing out the holes here. Like I said, it's a little bit of a tight fit to get these holes to line up. I went ahead and put the left side in first, and then the right side lines up fine. So you might have to do that. I'm gonna tighten these up and test it out. All right, got all the wiring in there, now getting ready to put it in. I used the factory bolts here. I did find that it's a little bit tight on the fit to get these bolt holes to line up. I put the ones on the left in first, and then the one on the right, it does fit in there. So now I'm gonna tighten these up and we'll test it out. All right, got those tightened up. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the cover on around this and see how that fits. Ready to put the cover back on here, hooking back up all the plugs that we unplugged here. And I'm gonna slide the cover back on. So I got the cover on now, the surround on here, and this all fits really nice. No gaps, finish looks good. I'm really happy with it. It was easy to do and gives this radio a lot of nice support here. It's not flopping around, not shaky, none of that kind of stuff. So feel good with it, real happy with it. Let's see if it works. All right, so we got it all in here now. All of our functionality is good. Radio looks great. That kit worked really well. Once again, this was the Metra 952001 to install in a GMC Envoy or Trailblazer or a number of other GM cars and trucks. There's a whole list. If you look up this kit, it'll tell you all the ones that it fits on this GM multi-kit. So thanks for watching. Keep firing them up.